Be sure to click on the link in the description to find all of these blueprints. You can either go directly to the downloadable PDF files, or you can go to the video which explains how to print these out to a 1:1 scale. Okay, so I'm pretty much doing the same thing that I was doing for the last video. I'm looking for all of the low spots, and instead of doing it on the bottom, because that's completely finished, I'm doing it on the side instead. And the layers are stacked up this direction, and it's pretty much the same thing. I actually find it easier to fill up the sides and everything like that. So I'm just filing down those spots that need to be filed because they're now filled up with super glue and baking soda. It's the same thing as before. So as you may know, these walls are stacked up this direction, and as you can see, I took some paper and just glued a flat piece there and a flat piece there, just one layer. And that will increase the strength a lot because it's paper in two different directions. So I have a piece of blank paper here, and since we know this is 1/2 of an inch tall, we just need to measure a strip that's 1/2 of an inch tall and the same length from here over to this rounded area. So, you know, just like that. Alright, so this is for the short side here. This side is longer, and you probably know that by now if you've been building it, but so I'm just going to cut this little strip out. And here's the strip right here, so I'm just going to glue it on with super glue because super glue will work better in this case. So just apply a little bit on here, just like that, and find something to spread it around with. You kind of want this to be even. And just put the first part of the strip on, just like this. After just that first part is glued on, you can work your way down, just like this. Just add some more. As you go down, you may realize the wall drops down right there, and that's no problem. You just keep applying the glue and do the same thing. Just make sure you don't put it there. And now you can coat this whole strip in super glue. So you just put it over just like that. Make sure it goes through this layer of paper and it actually touches the original piece. So just keep doing it. After it's coated like that, you can just start cutting this extra piece right here off where the step was. And you can do a little bit of filing to make it more nice looking. It should already be pretty nice and smooth because you already put it on a nice and smooth surface. So it's just a flat piece glued on there. You can sand it just a little bit with like a sanding sponge and it will look really nice. So I just put all 4 strips on here, 2 here and 2 here, and that means that's pretty much done for these side areas. I also put 1 here and 1 here, just to finish that off as well and give it a little bit more strength. So now all of these areas are extremely smooth, which is nice on the outside there, and right here as well. And now you can grab some Velcro like this. These are just Velcro strips that I found at the store. They seem to work really well, and they have a decent amount of strength, which is nice. Now, since these rectangular areas here are actually slightly smaller than this, as this won't fit through there, I had to cut off a little bit here, as you can see. Geez, everything's sticking to it here. So that's the strip that came off right there. So as you can see, this fits through there nicely now, and it goes through all of them, just like it should. I've also experimented with fused plastic. As you can see, these are just plastic bags that I fused together. And, you know, I just wanted to see if it would look somewhat like leather, and it still looks kind of plasticky. So I'll just stick with the Velcro straps because I think that will work just as well. I'm just going to assemble all of these parts together now, just so it can be put together and I can put the screws in so we can see what it looks like. This is what it looks like. I am about to put these screws in there, and as you can see, fully functional, which is obviously really good. It's all very smooth, and you always need to make sure that you don't necessarily trust the surface that you're looking at. Although it could look slightly rough, it's actually smooth if everything's filled up, because the super glue in baking soda is somewhat translucent, which means you can kind of see through it, so you can see the surface below, and it's actually level even though it may not look like it. So these screws tend to be a little bit sharp, and they can actually start to scratch your wrist, and I was wondering how I can fix that, and I just decided I'll just put it in upside down like this, and this won't scratch me, which is nice. And yes, it is designed to have the screws going through the top, but this is just a temporary fix that I'm using for now until I can have something else that will cover those screws. So I'm just measuring on this strip of Velcro. I already have this one in place, and it's kind of hard to see pencil on here, but it works. And then I'm just going to cut the excess off using the X-Acto knife. So I have two straps on here, a Velcro strap here and a Velcro strap here, and I have a sleeve on underneath because the Velcro actually starts to hurt your skin after a while too. Alright, so the straps are on here, as you can see, and I think a gauntlet or something like that would add a little extra support, because I still kind of have to hold it here to keep that stability. So this ring would go on your finger, as you can see first though. It does actually work. If it's actually on my finger like this, I put a couple of new rubber bands in here. That's why the speed of the blade is quite fast now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see, you can take this off, and there it is. So this is the hidden blade, as you can see, and it's pretty much completely finished. It took a very long time to build this and also film the tutorial videos, but some things just take a long time to do. I really hope your hidden blades turn out perfectly. Sometimes when you're building something like this, it can be really easy to lose motivation. Some parts might not work perfectly the first time you assemble them, but you need to know, eventually, if you keep working on it, you will get it to work. If something isn't working perfectly the first time, or at all, just take a break. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of patience. But if you keep at it and you work on it, it will be finished eventually. My main point is, just don't give up and be creative. So that concludes the entire tutorial series for this paper full-size dual-action hidden blade. If you enjoy tutorial videos like this, be sure to let me know of some other projects you would like to see later in the future. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.